Before we begin Kobe Skip, make sure that you have your smart camera turned off under gameplay settings because we're going to have the camera at a specific angle and we don't want it changing. Now there's three things we need for this Kobe Skip setup. First, we need an exact camera angle. Second, we will use that camera angle to walk to a specific position, and then from that position we will use that to get a visual cue to bash at a specific time. Before I explain the steps, here's an example of what this will look like in real time.
There's nothing like the smell of bubbles in the morning. Smells like victory.
With this setup, the only variable that you will need to nail down is your bash timing, which will come with practice. To begin the setup, first we will need the camera angle that we want. Point the camera directly down at SpongeBob as far up as you can get it. Then walk over to this lamp post over by the ball machine and hold down right into the corner until SpongeBob gets stuck. To get the camera angle exactly right, focus on this corner up in the top right of the screen. If the corner is touching the top of your screen, your angle is either good or close enough to test it out. Now hold straight up so that we can check to see if our angle is good. If you're on PC, I strongly recommend that you use your keyboard for movement during this part, as you can cleanly move in a straight line with the WASD keys. If our camera angle is correct and we moved in a perfectly straight line, SpongeBob's nose should be perfectly centered on this bolt here on the floor. SpongeBob's nose will sway from left to right during his idle animation, but it should never stop being over top of the bolt even during the idle animation. It should only hit the sides as it's swinging. If SpongeBob's nose isn't quite in the right position, go back to the lamp post and do the same steps as before and try to get the camera in as close to a perfect position as you can. Don't be afraid to spend some time on this part. The closer you are to a perfect camera angle, the more consistent your shots will be. After confirming that SpongeBob's nose is over top of the bolt and that your camera angle is perfect, take a tiny step forward until SpongeBob is standing in this position. The seam of metal directly below SpongeBob should be cutting his body perfectly in half. Additionally, the corner of this metal square should just barely poke out from underneath the ramp so that you can barely see even a few pixels of it. This is the position you're going to rush to as the ball rolls down the ramp. After getting comfortable with this position, it's time to nail down the bash timing with the ball. Activate the ball, then walk down right into the lamp like we did before. Then hold straight up and walk to the position we mentioned before. This is the exact frame that you want SpongeBob's bash animation to start. The visual cue I've been using to get this timing is when the ball is just about to touch the bubble of underwear in front of SpongeBob, I'll input my bash. Try and find the visual cue that works best for you, as this is pretty feel-based. If your camera angle and positioning is correct and your bash timing is frame perfect, the ball will launch into the hole at this angle every single time. If you're struggling to get the bash timing, record your attempts and check to see what frame you are bashing. If you're too early, the ball won't go anywhere. If you're too late, the ball will launch but not get enough distance. Here are some more attempts of me setting up the trick. Notice that they're all almost indistinguishable from each other, due to the precise setup causing the same results every single time. Shoutouts to Quill, DigFruitDog on the BFBB Discord for discovering the original setup and working with me these past 3 days to find a consistent setup. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to find this perfected setup.